Hello, my friends. Welcome back. How are you? I hope doing okay. Let's go see what I'm up to today. Oh, it's froggy time. I thought we would do something with this frog. I haven't done a frog in a very long time, and I thought we would revisit the puff paint. Yes, remember when I used the puff paint in those coasters? It was video number 35. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I think it was like 9 months ago. But we're going to revisit the puff paint. I'm just going to do it a little bit different this time. So I'm just going to pick out a few colors here, and then we're going to try to create something like a psychedelic looking frog using puff paint. This is just an experiment, so I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to give it a go. So I'm just going to pick out a few colors here. I have my colors picked out. And the yellow, I don't have it out here right now, but I do end up grabbing it later on because I thought, why not? It needs some yellow too. So I'm just checking the frog to make sure nothing's inside the mold. I did clean it out, but I was just double checking. Okay, so I'm not going to use any of my little eyeballs that I put in for my frogs because I don't want to waste them, because this is just an experiment. So I'm just going to use the blue and make our frog's eyes blue using the puff paint. So I'm just going to squeeze a dab in there. And I'm trying not to use a whole lot of puff paint because this is puff paint. So, it's puffy looking. So I'm trying to paint it, draw it on with the little bottle there because I'm not using a brush or anything. I'm just using the bottle straight out of the bottle. So I'm trying to squirt it in a thin layer, not real thick, because if I'm put it in there thick, it may not dry at all, or it may take forever to dry. So, you know what? That's really the next experiment I need to try. To put it in there, like puff paint goes, real puffy looking, and see, let it dry maybe 4 days and see if it will hold up, with resin poured in behind it. So yes, that's definitely something I can try next. But we're just going to put it in there really thin, a really thin coat of it, because I'm not sure if this is going to work. Painted on the mold like this. So I'm just going to take the bottle and just draw the lines, all around inside the frog. I'm not going in any certain way or using, any certain colors, just the ones that I have out here. And I'm not using them in any certain way. I'm just putting them in the mold wherever I see fit. Last time I tried this, I put a layer of epoxy down first, and then I let it cure, and I drew my flower onto the resin inside of my mold with the puff paint. So this time we're going to put the puff paint directly onto the mold, and we're going to see if this is going to work. But I do know from using the puff paint in the past that the puffier you draw the paint on, the longer it takes to dry. So, with that being said, I'm going to be sure that I draw my lines on very thin because I'm going to give this probably about 2 days to dry, sitting in front of a fan to be sure that the puff paint is completely dry before we go in with our next layer of epoxy. And yes, I know my glove had a blowout, but I'm just going to leave it be for now because I'm really not messing with any epoxy. So I'm just going to, roll with it. And you'll see me get my skewer stick there every now and then is because in those hard to reach areas, I can't reach it, so I'll drop a little drop of the puff paint and then take the skewer stick and connect it to the next line. And you know, my entire life, I have never, ever had a favorite color. I've always been a colorful kind of girl. And doing this right here is right up my alley. The more color, the more I like it. The more color it has, the more I like it. And you know, when I ask you all what your opinion is on something, it's not, oh, how can I say this? I may not choose the color you suggested, but it's important to me that you share because I love all the different things that you all see. Does that make sense? If you see that so many people said what you were going to say and you think, oh, I don't need to say what Sally just said, well, go ahead and share it anyway because sometimes I count all of your opinions. You know, like so many said red and so many said green. And if you don't share, then your vote didn't count. And your vote matters too. Oh, look at that, you guys. It looks stunning in there. I hope we can get this to work out. Look at that. Okay, we're back. And our puff paint has dried. I let it dry for 2 days. I don't know if I really needed to let it dry that long, but I wanted to be sure that the puff paint was completely dry. So I chose to use my black here, and we're going to get out my Cast and Craft white, and we're going to make half of the frog white and half of the frog black. So that way we can see what our psychedelic colors look best with, black or white. I thought that would be a pretty cool way to do it. So I'm just mixing up that Cast and Craft right now. I did choose to use Let's Resin Epoxy for this experiment, which that's pretty much been my go-to resin for now. Okay, I spritzed my little frog mold there with some alcohol, and we're just going to go on in with this black and white, and I'm just going to let it pour right on into the mold. You know, the black on the left and the white on the right. That was a tongue twister. And I'm going to stop right before I get to the feet, and we're going to switch colors. We're going to take the white and put it over there on the black side, and then the white over on the, did I say that right? The white on the black side and the black on the white side. Okay, so I'm just taking my heat gun and popping any of those surface bubbles. Spray a little bit of alcohol. And now I'm going to take the white over here where the black is at, and we're going to make his feet over here white. And what would you guys like to see me do next using the puff paint? Does anybody have any cool ideas that you would like to see me try with the puff paint? Let me know, and I will definitely try it. I'm just trying to get his little feet full with the resin there. And then I'm going to move on over here to the other side and make his feet over here black. I don't know if this will turn out, really cool looking, but I thought that it would look pretty cool. So I'm going to try it. We don't know unless we try, right? Okay, and I'm just going to finish this cup off right here in the middle because he's not quite full yet, but this will probably do it after I empty these 2 cups. If my measurements are what are right. White. I don't think I can talk very good tonight or this evening. Okay, now I'm just going to scrape this cup right here. It's not much in here, but our frog is completely full after this little bit right here, that's for sure. Okay, I'm gonna grab my heat gun, move that resin around a little bit, pop any surface bubbles. And I wonder if that white will do anything cool because, the white is a pigment paste and the black is a mica powder. So maybe we'll get a cool effect there. I'm just going to twirl it a little bit right there and then get right on out of there and let this thing cure and spray a little alcohol on it. And I will see you back when it's time to demold it. I'm just cleaning up a little bit before I lay my cover down over my frog. Okay, I'll see y'all back. Here we go, you guys. It is time to demold our frog here. Are you ready to see if this worked? I do not like getting these feet out. They are so tedious. If now I'm sure if you let the frog sit for probably a few days, then it'll be fine. You probably could just tear the mold off of there. No problem. But, when it hasn't really had time to fully cure, then you have to be really careful around his feet or you will snatch one of his toes off. And I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to try to work his feet out first, and then we'll get the rest of him out. I think that's probably going to be the smartest thing to do. Okay, all those toes made it. Now I'm going to work on these right here. Okay, all those toes made it. Now we got those out. Now we just have this one left to go. Woohoo! We got all the toesies out. And here it is. Oh my goodness, it worked, you guys. Look at that. That looks so awesome. You can't even tell that the puff paint was directly on the mold. I can't feel a difference. Now, I do notice some air bubbles got in the puff paint, but I thought, oh, well, it'll it'll work itself out. Surely the air will hit it and it'll pop. I should have got the little bubbles out because here's one right here. And I knew it. I seen it when it was there, but I left it there because I thought that it would just pop. But I should have got it out. And there's one on his right leg there. And I seen that one too when I was putting the puff paint on him. So that's something to note. If you see any bubbles in the puff paint, you need to get it out because it will, show. See, there's the one right there on his leg. But look how the cast and craft did. That's pretty cool. Okay, there's the white side of him. And there's the black side. Which is your favorite? I don't have a favorite. This is too stinking cool, you guys. This is awesome. Okay, I have to try this again and put his eyes in there and try to be more careful with the puff paint so I don't get any air pockets or any air in there next time. So what do you guys think about my little froggy here? Let me know what you would like to see me do next with the puff paint. Well, it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye, and I will see you on Monday. I'm just kidding. You thought I was losing it, didn't you? I will see you all tomorrow. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.